Hello and welcome to another episode of the Obscure Files. My name is Roman, and in today's video I'm going to compare the famous video game Phasmophobia with a real paranormal investigation. But before I get into that, I wanted to invite you to subscribe to this channel. If you're interested in all things paranormal, strange, spooky, mysterious, and weird, be sure you hit that subscribe button. This is what the channel is all about, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss a video. So, how true to life is this Phasmophobia game? I'll be comparing real life scenarios with the game. So no more talking, let's get straight onto the computer and check this out. Alright, so it looks like we're in the game now. I did notice this stuff and its equipment, and it looks legit. Like, this is SB11, SB7, both spirit box models. There's a tri-field meter, a K2 meter, infrared trail cameras. So equipment wise, it actually looks pretty damn spot on so far. I haven't played this game in quite a while, so it's fun to step in. I mean, I'm level 1 and apparently I'm a woman. Oh, it's little games, it looks like. Got that out of the way, let's go investigate and see how real this game is. Yeah, so I remember...
Take a look at the equipment and prepare.
Alright. Yeah, so I remember...
Looks like this is going to be a
We found a non-violent ghost that you can use to train your ghost hunting skills. We've already located the ghost in the nursery. Very nice. Wow, look at that. Oh, that's the, right there in the center there. That's the famous Ed and Lorraine Warren photograph from the Amityville house. Okay, so let's head in there now, see what we got going on. I should probably bring a flashlight. Safety first, important stuff. I remember this game being a hell of a lot scarier than the real thing, but we'll see. Okay, here we go. So this is the nursery here. Apparently the ghost is in here. On an investigation, you will have around 5 minutes before the ghost will anger and drop your sanity faster. It takes a long time for something to actually happen in a real investigation. So that is more, I think it's more for the sake of the game. Either way, let's take a look at the next screen here. Alright, so I'm going to set up a video camera inside the ghost's room, then head back to the truck and watch the CCTV monitor for a ghost orb. I'm going to walk back to the trailer. Meanwhile, I'll tell you a little bit about ghost orbs. I personally don't trust ghost orbs as being potential paranormal evidence because there's just so many things that can be confused as orbs. You have dust, moisture, bugs, lens flares. There's just so many things that you can confuse it with. So I personally don't find orbs all that reliable. If you do, great. I just don't. Alright, so this is fairly realistic with the night vision camera because when you're doing an investigation in the dark, the infrared is basically your eyeballs because, oh, well, I guess I caught an orb. I'll set it down. How do I set it down? Is it this? Oh, okay, so I just set it down there. Yeah, so in a dark scenario, it is, the infrared is your eyeballs. It's the only thing that's gonna let you see in the dark. Oh, and I gotta write that I found an orb. Yeah, this game is a whole... I don't know what about it, but this game is a whole lot creepier than real life. Oh. Okay, so grab the ghostwriting book and place it inside the ghost's room. Okay, ghostwriting book. Interesting. Not something that I've used personally. They might exist. I'm honestly not too sure if they do or not. There. Okay. Coming out, ghost. Okay, so... that's scary. Okay, so spirit box. Grab the spirit box in the truck, enter the ghost room with the lights out, and ask the ghost questions with your voice. Try "where are you" or "how old are you?" If the spirit box responds back with a voice, then write it in the last page of your journal. Alright. The cool thing about this game, very realistic, is that it actually lets you use your own voice to communicate, which is awesome because it adds that much more realism to it. Is someone in here with me right now? And I do see that it... What was that? I do see that it's sweeping in reverse, which is cool because in real life, That's something you definitely want to do in order to gain a potential intelligent response. Basically, the way it works is when it scans through radio stations. This is scary. When it scans through the radio stations backwards and you hear like an actual phrase, it's really supportive of your evidence, because what are the odds that you hear a correct phrase when it's going backwards, if that makes any sense? Are you in this room? Where in the house are you? And in real life, the spirit box, if you don't modify it, you're just going to hear a lot of radio stuff. If you're in near radio towers, if you're within range of the signal for the radio stations, you're going to hear a lot of just voices coming through. So you'd have to modify it in order to just hear nothing but static. How old are you? Okay, so I see an X on the spirit box. As far as I know, the SB7 doesn't have an X or a little ghost on it. So that's mainly for the game. I think it's telling you that there's no response. No ghost writing and no response on the spirit box. So let's see what else the game tells me to do. By this point, the room should now be cold. If the ghost is a freezing temperature ghost, the room will drop to freezing. If you can see your breath in this room, then write it in the last page of your journal. If not, then go to the next screen. I don't see my breath. As far as seeing your breath in a room, I mean, it's probably just cold, usually, that you're seeing your breath. Grab the UV torch from the truck, scan all doors, windows, and light switches around the ghost, using this light for fingerprints. Wow. That sounds more like a Ghostbusters type thing to me. It doesn't really sound like something in real life, not that I've used personally. So I'm gonna go and use this. Activity is popping in there right now. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. That's interesting. On the window too, trying to escape maybe. Okay, gotta use the K2 meter. Grab the EMF reader from the truck, scan objects around the ghost that is interacting with. If the EMF reader lights up red, level 5, then write it on the last page of your journal. Alright, yeah, so in real life, I mean, a K2 meter does that. It looks for EMF or electromagnetic fields, electromagnetic energy, which is what ghosts are said to be composed of. Usually, the way I like to go about doing EMF readings is you want to get a baseline reading. Basically, what that means is you want to see what the EMF is like just before you start investigating or trying to communicate or trying to actually read for a spirit or ghost, because you want to get a baseline reading that's going to help you determine whether or not a spike is potentially a ghost or spirit. Like right now it's green, and it's been green almost the whole time standing here. So if it was to just randomly spike, okay, so there's a level 5 EMF right there. That's a big spike. Earlier it was at a 2, maybe a 3. So right now you're seeing it's a level 5 spike, which is a very strong presence of EMF. And then the only other thing to keep in mind is that electronics and sometimes electrical wires can cause EMF. So for example, if I was standing here with the light on, there might be some EMF coming from the light switch. Depending on the EMF reader you have, it could be stronger or weaker. But I want to go test this somewhere else. Okay, so it's not doing it here. It's doing it in the room. Okay, and it's not doing it anymore. So I think this is scary. I hate this. Just remember that any electrical current or anything electrical may cause a spike in EMF. So always look out for that. But I'm going to write it in my journal. And we've got an Obaki. Okay, an Obaki are terrifying shapeshifters capable of taking on many forms. They have been seen taking on humanoid shapes to attract their prey. Grab the dots projector from the truck, then place it inside the ghost room. If you see a distorted ghost moving, then write it on the last page of your journal. I mean, it's a laser grid, and usually it works with a camera, and you use the infrared from the camera, throw that there, to look for a sort of disturbance in the grid. It could be a mist or a shadow, Now I have the 3 pieces of evidence, but I still want to give this a try because we're ghost hunters here and we like to try new things when it comes to investigating. So, and this right here, this what I'm doing, you see me just sort of sitting here waiting around to see if something happens. This is going to be the most realistic part of the game because paranormal investigation, it's a lot of just sitting around and waiting. Looking at the chart here, it's active like every 30 seconds and sometimes spikes all the way up to like 10 if that matters. My experience, you're hardly ever gonna get a 5 even, and it won't be as consistent as this. And again, that's just my experience. A different investigator might tell you otherwise, but from my experience, you hardly get it to like a 5. But I mean, for game's sake, it is really scary. It spooks you out pretty bad, which I'd say the game did a pretty good job of doing. Let's see what's next. Let's see if it has me. I did not turn that light on. I always, after an investigation, like to leave the place exactly as it was left to me. Close everything. Take my equipment with me. Can I pick this up or do I have to leave it behind? Aw, nuts. If anybody at the Washoe Club is watching, I left an infrared camera behind like a fool. Investigation over. I forgot my camera too. Oh, well, there you go. I guess my investigation is done. That was fun. That was pretty cool. And there you have it. As you can see, some of it is pretty realistic, while some of it is more fantasy. But that was fun, I did enjoy it, and if you enjoyed it, let me know by hitting that like button. And don't forget to subscribe if you're interested in all things paranormal, strange, spooky, mysterious, and weird. If you want to check out some real paranormal investigations I've done, click on the button on the screen, it'll take you right to those. I'll also leave the links to those videos in the description. Thanks for hanging out with me today. This is the Obscure Files. I'll see you on the next video.